Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rick's Hot Sauce Late Model Series, where we're here tonight. Race number 4 of 5 in the 5-race chase at Five Flags for the America's Auto Auction 100. Currently, it's just me, Hunter Sleppy, your lead announcer in the booth. We got my producer Harold Darner with me, still waiting on Jacob Bell's going to show up, or if Ryan Swan might make an appearance. So, Harold, how's it going?
Doing pretty good, man. Another fine Sunday, and we're back here at Pensacola. Well, actually, it's our first time at Pensacola, I think.
Yep, our first broadcast was the test session, and that was at, actually, no, it was at Five Flags. I remember it now. I remember. I thought it was USA, but
maybe that was the reason why I thought we were here before.
Yeah. Yeah, we were here earlier. This was our first broadcast. It was just a test race just to get the technical errors and glitches out of the way. It had quite a crazy finish at the very end that I remember vividly now. So we did go to this track before. We go to this track again for race 4 of 5 in the Rick's Hot Sauce Late Model Series playoffs, where last week in Milwaukee things got tight and the point standings looking like it's going to be James Shanewolf. He's currently got a, oh, I just had it up. He currently has a 15-point lead in the playoffs, and the next driver that's closest to him is Jacob York, who is 15 points back.
I will put up the standings so we can show that. There we go.
There we go. So these are your playoff standings coming out of Milwaukee. James Shanewolf with another win puts his advantage at a 15-point gap. For Jacob York in second. Third, Matthew Robinson. He closed the gap to 19 back after that win. Crazy win from Milwaukee. Jeremy Knapp and Carter Cooper tied for fourth, 20 points back each. Johnny Collier sixth. Dawson Miller seventh. Then you got Rick Ward, Ed Morris Sr., Sebastian Taylor, Cliff Mullins, and Jeremy Rigney rounding out the point standings. So pretty cut and dry that it's been James Shanewolf who is determined more than ever to get this championship. Jacob York's been there too, but he hasn't been winning, and that's what James Shanewolf was doing. Right there, you see the 25 of Jacob York. Still have about 10.5 minutes left in practice.
Well, our buddy Jake did just pop in and put in my ear that they will be advancing the session to qualifying. We're not going to go the whole distance for practice. We did get a late start today.
Yep, was just about to touch on that. There was a late start for the practice session, and it didn't get up until about, say, around 8:20. And typically around when we go live at 8:40 is when practice is over. Then we have qualifying. So don't know when qualifying will start. We do know that the session will be cut, so we will not have the remaining 10 minutes or so of practice. Still waiting on clearance from that, but right now let's take a look at our practice chart. You see Jacob York's at the top with a 17.5. Then right behind him is last week's winner Matthew Robinson, very close. Or actually, James Shanewolf, he just jumped up to second. Then behind him is Matthew Robinson in third. Now, a lot of these lap times are pretty close. Michael Life there in the 26, he had one get away from him once more. Up and rounding out top 5 is Jeremy Knapp. As there you see, checkered flag is out, so practice is officially over.
As we hear all the guys doing that end of practice, crash the car, get new one.
Oh yeah. Get a fresh one for qualifying.
That's right. Back in NASCAR 2003, we had an issue with you seemed to have random engine failures. So it was one of those wives' tales that you should just blow your engine up at the end of practice to make sure you didn't have that problem during the race. So everybody do it.
Yeah. Alrighty, so 30 seconds down in this 5-minute qualifying session. They will have until 15 minutes remaining in the session, where drivers can get their fast laps in, and there is the 52 of Carter Coop. Stop, tag the wall. As soon as you tag the wall on any part of the racetrack, your lap time is discredited, will not be counted. So I don't even think he crossed the line yet. And if he did, he'll only have one lap left. And there you see the 18 of Josh Collins sideways through 1 and 2. You see he likes to run the high groove in turn 3, then diamond it back down to turn 4. There's the 52 of Carter Coop. Right now, James Shanewolf currently your pole sitter. Coop hit the wall on the front stretch and stopped right before. So this may be his only lap, and it's 17.696. And yep, that was his one and only lap because he's going to park it. Bring it back to pit road. Here's your second place driver in the championship standings, Jacob York. He just smacked the wall, so forget everything about that lap time. See what it is. It will show the lap time on the ticker. Well, never mind.
Usually doesn't put on the ticker, but sometimes we'll do it on the driver tag.
Driver tag already.
That's the little driver info thing we normally have. It may show there, but it won't show down there.
I think this lap time should show, as he did not hit the wall that time by in the 25 car of Jacob York.
Showing that he's on 4 laps, so he may have tapped the wall for both of his laps and they not count. So that is a possibility. And everybody is off the track.
Possibility. Now that lap time from Jacob York was identical to Jeremy Ringney. It was a 17.663, so that would have put him in a tie for 4th, as he just parked it. So, looks like he did hit the wall on both of his laps. Not what you want to see if you're Jacob York, but there is a heat race. Actually, there's going to be 2 heat races tonight, because currently we have 14 drivers scheduled to make an appearance tonight. Not to make an appearance, but to race. 14 drivers, so anytime you have more than 12 drivers in the field, we have 2 heats. They are split up. I believe they'll be split up into 7. Here you see the 33 of Johnny Collier on the track.
Yeah, it gives us 6 lap heat races to kind of see what can happen towards the end of the race, because for some reason in this series we always seem to have a 5 lap shootout or so at the end.
Yeah, very well. It's happened quite a bit, more often than not, where we have I'd say most likely there's a restart with less than 10 to go in almost every race that we've done, and the heats are kind of like a practice session for being in that scenario. Okay, so I've only got 6 laps left. Let's see what I can do. And looks like that'll do it for qualifying, because the only car not scored with a lap time is Jacob York, and that's because he hit the wall. Oh,
that's Michael Light.
Michael Light popping in to say hello.
You saw the cameraman.
Car, yeah, 25 car Jacob York hit the wall on both of his laps. So both are discredited, and he will be, looks like he'll be in the 2nd heat, currently 14th right now. Less than 30 seconds remaining, and that should do it for qualifying. So looks like your pole sitter is going to be the number 1 of James Shanewolf. So just adding on to the massive points lead that he has, he'll be starting up front for not only the 1st heat of the night, but for the race. Currently the pole sitter. Then 2nd is Sebastian Taylor in the 27. Matthew Robinson 3rd. Jeremy Ringney 4th. Michael Lipe rounding out the top 5. And then the rest of the top 10 is Carter Coop in the 52. Jeremy Knapp in the 20. Johnny Collier in the 33. Dean Gagliano in the 41. And the 18 of Josh Collins rounds out the top 10. Then the rest of the field, you'll have Rick Ward in the 34. Ed Moore Sr. in the 14. Caleb Steimer in the 36. And Jacob York in the 25, currently 14th. The one driver I do not see, it's the 56 of Dawson Miller.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Not quite sure where he's at right now. Would like to hope that he would come by, make an appearance at the racetrack, the America's Auto Auction 100, here at Five Flags.
Now, iRacing will let him come in all the way until the grid starts. So he's got about 14 minutes to make an appearance. Now, I don't know about the league rules for that, but that iRacing will allow him to enter.
currently looking at the point standings last weekend. Dawson Miller was the big loser as he dropped 3 points, 3 spots in the points. And the big mover was Matthew Robinson, up 3 spots.
It was a good run by Matthew Robinson last week.
Very good run by Matthew Robinson last week. And while we wait on the field to get gridded up for the America's Auto Auction 100, well, the heats before main event, let's take a look at a recap of last week in Milwaukee. About to say, look at how high some of these cars were going. Like Sebastian Taylor was up in the 4th groove.
Really sideways to turn 3 and 4. Great save there by the 25 of Jacob York.
Yeah, we've seen that quite a bit of times where they get loose and spin out on the first lap of the heat.
Shane Wolf really widens out his car coming off the corners. Got really close to the wall there. Might have actually hurt him a little bit. Light was able to maintain his lead and coming out of turn 4. The 26 of Michael Light is going to win Miller Racing Graphics Heat Race number 1 here at Milwaukee. Pace car is in. The Country Road Sports Cards 100 is underway. I like that pick though, Harold. We're thinking just alike, and we see contact
Almost
going
contact
down.
on lap 1.
Cars are really, really slick on those opening laps with the cold tires.
You know, you guys, you could have been looking at the fact of the loose off condition in the first couple of laps. Well, there he goes around there. But I was going to say.
Oh, he got hit from behind. That's the 34 of Rick Ward. As the 27 spins backwards, that's going to bring out our first caution of the night on lap number 5.
I wonder if he got a hold of the grass down in 3 and 4 while being underneath the 56.
Well, we're looking at the replay here. Like you said, it looked like he was peeking under the 56 of Dawson Miller coming through 3 and 4. Closer and closer to the apron, really tight racing, and yeah, I think you called it right there, Ryan. He definitely got a little piece of the grass there, got him sideways, and the 34 Rick Ward just not able to slow down in time.
What do you got to do to get all them points back? You got to gain 20 points in 3 weeks. What do you got to do?
I'd have an answer for you, but we got a caution actually out on the racetrack. Trying to find where it's at. Looks like it's 41 and Dean Gagliano actually. That must have happened with the 41 here. Oh, same thing as Sebastian Taylor coming through 3 and 4, clipped the grass.
Oh no.
For a slide and hard into the outside wall.
So thank goodness for that safer barrier there to keep the drivers safe and the
engine is not saying thankful for that, though, because that engine went bye-bye.
Carter Coop's actually giving a really, really good fight on the bottom, and Shane Wolf now looking to make it 3 wide. I'd be shocked if he does it, and there he goes. It actually looked like Robinson might have tagged the wall there a little bit on the exit.
Or could he have backed off so he could get back down on the bottom? As there goes the 52 wide, him and the one made contact. Now here comes the 40 back on the bottom. Maybe that's what he saw. A little bit of contact. And right back in it for the battle for 3rd is the 40 of Robinson.
Shane Wolf jumped on the radio right away and apologized to the 52 there. Obviously, he got in there way too hot. Came right up in front of the 52 there. You saw the contact that sent him up the track. Left side tires on the 26. That's an interesting call right there. And we just see contact. The 56 and the 40 just hit each other off of turn 2.
They're still green. No caution out.
That was a big hit.
That's big for the 40. He was the fastest car on the racetrack the last 5 laps, and he was cutting into Lipes' time he had over him, but not anymore.
So let's take a look at the replay here and see. Oh, he caught the 56 of Dawson Miller. So lap car, Dawson Miller. Wow, that's a confusing one right there. I'm not sure why he was in the middle of the racetrack there.
Those drivers have a realistic shot at getting those, goals done by the end of this race, but it's not going to be easy.
I was going to say it's not easy for the 40 because they're side by side in front of them, the 2 lap cars of Coop and Miller.
Going on to the apron
quite a bit.
Is going on to the apron to try to get around him. They're still holding him up quite a bit. I don't think he's going to be able to get there. They're still side by side right in front of him, and it's costing
the 40 quite a bit of time.
Look at the 14.
Yeah, 14 staying right there with the 26. I know
Yeah.
he's got fresher tires, but watch
Boy,
out.
they are not making it easy for
Three
Matthew Robinson
wide.
back there. They're 3 wide on the front stretch.
Through the middle of the 56 and the 52.
It's really not helping Robinson at all with these lap cars racing him like they are.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much putting the nail in the coffin on his chances of catching. I mean, he just gave up nearly a second on that last lap alone, and with 10 to go, that's going to be hard to overcome. And
I would
it is.
assume he's a little bit ticked off at both of the
Yeah.
Miller Racing graphic cars right here, as they're still going to go 3 wide down the front stretch.
You may see a bumper laid here. Just watch out, boys.
Might see a car go in the fence.
Oh, he's sideways.
52 moves up. 40 of Robinson still looking to move up. They make contact. The 56 and the 40 do. He's going to put the 56 in the wall.
Oh, the 56 ain't gonna be very happy about that.
Frustration boiling over from the 40 of Matthew Robinson, as he had a chance at catching the 26 of Light. And then the 52 and the 56, they basically parked it in front of him.
So the leader is letting the lap car go by there, which is an interesting strategy play. But what it does now is kind of shrinks his lead down from a 3-second advantage he had just a few laps ago over Matthew Robinson. Michael Leip's lead is down to 1.2 seconds now over Matthew Robinson with 3 to go. It's going to be close.
I think this one car is a way faster than the 26. This is gonna put him to the outside again, probably.
There it goes, yeah, down at the turn 3, the leader, well, look at that, now Michael Leip is going to throw the block down on James Shanewell and make Shanewell pass him on the top.
Here comes
Robinson's
Robinson.
going to get to the bumper.
Here comes the 40 of Matthew Robinson. He's caught to the bumper of the 26 of Life, who continues to blink in and out. Now they're battling for the lead. 2 laps to go here as they're side by side on the front stretch. The 40 of Robinson down low. The 26 of Coop up, or 20 Coop. Life up high. I botched that really bad. But the 40 of Robinson takes the lead away with less than 2 to go here at the Milwaukee Mile.
He is so much quicker right now, and that's the difference between taking 4 tires if you're the 40 and left side tires if you're the 26. If the tires just eventually caught up to him, and Robinson was able to hunt him down for over 3 seconds back in 5 laps and got to him and got by him. And here we go. White flag is out in the Country Road Sports Cars 100 at Milwaukee, and Matthew Robinson is back in control of this one.
Well, this was just like what we saw earlier in the race. We saw the 1 and the 40 working together to pull
Look
away
at
from
the
the
one.
26.
The one's trying to get by the 14 here. This is another really important battle between these two guys, because this is a point for James Shanewolf, our championship leader.
14 of Ben Morris goes high. The 1 of Shane Wolf checks up. But right behind those guys, it's all smooth sailing for the 40 of Matthew Robinson as Shane Wolf passes the 14. Coming off turn 4 for the final time, it will be the 40 of Matthew Robinson getting it done at the Milwaukee Mile.
That was a hard-earned victory there for the 40 of Matthew Robinson. And he did exactly what he had to do to get back into this championship race, which was go up there and catch that 26 car. He gets it done.
Welcome back, and we're going to have our first heat of the night. Here's your starting grid for that heat. It's James Shanewolf on the front row, Matthew Robinson in second. Third will be Michael Leip. Fourth is Jeremy Knapp. Row 3 will have Dean Gagliano and Rick Ward, and then last but not least, Caleb Steimer in the 36. Kind of moving quick tonight as we now have the heats scheduled for 9 o'clock, and indeed it's 9 o'clock, and first heat about to get underway.
I said we came right off the recap right into a race. So, all right, let's go.
That was great. Perfect timing. So we're going to do another pace lap here before we get our first heat race underway. And that first heat race is going to be the Miller Racing Graphics heat race number 1. Your number 1 source for iRacing graphics, logos, and more. Get 50% off your first paint scheme at facebook.com/MillerSimGraphics. Indeed, we have 14 cars on the field, meaning that we have more than one heat race. So only 7 for the first one, but we'll also have 7 for the second one. And really quick before this goes, Green, in the chat, there's a control where you can bet your channel points on who you think will win tonight. So there we go, green flag for Miller Racing Graphics, team number 1.
And just like all bets, we're not allowed to play that game, right?
Well, I don't know because Jake,
We do our own little one.
Jake's been making his.
Has he been? Oh no. Yeah, wait a minute. He put Sebastian Taylor. Well, Sebastian will be happy that I'm not picking him this week.
He's put one for Sebastian Taylor and James Shanewolf, and I mean, I can see why for James Shanewolf. He's already got almost a 1 second lead in the first heat. It's really, the battle is for second as you got Robinson below Lipe. So you see a nice shot of the cars going by. There it is. Shanewolf with the fastest lap. He's driving away with it, no doubt about it. But the 40 of Robinson underneath the 26 of Lipe. Lipe
Was
trying
it
to
like
get
last
that
week,
momentum.
right?
Could be. Lipe trying to get that run on the top. Going to get a little loose there. Nearly made contact with the wall, but Robinson's got the preferred groove down on the bottom. And right behind them, contact between the 41 of Dean Gagliano and Andrew Knapp. I knew I was going to say that. Jeremy Knapp. He goes sideways and into the inside wall.
And there
and his
goes
car
his
is
engine.
done. Yep, had to get my Andrew Knapp out of the way.
Yeah, so
See,
Jeremy
his
Knapp
car is-
will be the back
Jeremy
tonight.
Knapp, his car is up in smoke. That's going to do it for him. These guys have to drive through that smoke, going through 3 and 4 and down the front stretch.
Well, luckily for Jeremy Knapp, this is a heat race, so he'll get another car.
He will get another car indeed. So the white flag is out. So here we go, down through 3 and 4 for the final time. A dominating heat race from James Shanewolf. He wins Miller Racing Graphics heat race number 1. So I believe we just had a brief entrance through the booth.
Yeah, I'm here now.
It's Jacob Bell, everyone.
I heard the doo-doo. I was wondering if that was his intro music or, you know, what it was, putting his headset on. I'm not sure, but it sure sounded like it.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I wanted to explain real quick, too, to all our viewers. We did open up the bets in the chat. It's a new thing we're starting here. I'm going to give everybody in the Twitch channel right now who's watching 10 points so that they have at least 10 points to add to their bets. But if you go in the chat right now on the Twitch channel, you can bet your channel points on who is going to win tonight's race. All you got to do is put ! bet and the driver's last name, and then I would put 10 since I think we're only going to have about 10 points for tonight. But just wanted to throw that out there before we get to the feature race.
All right, we got the results up on the screen here
Yep.
for the Heat 1.
The
Looks like
results
Heat
for
2 is rolling right now as well.
Oh. All right, so really quick, your Heat 1 results. It's James Shanewolf, Michael Lipe, Matthew Robinson, Dean Gagliano, Caleb Steimer, Rick Ward, and Jeremy Knapp. Not Andrew Knapp, which I got that out of the way early enough. They're under the pace laps for heat race number 2, which your front row, Sebastian Taylor and Jeremy Rigney. That's heat race number 1, but luckily I have it next to me.
Yeah, we got it here. It's,
Taylor.
There it is.
There it is. Sebastian Taylor and Jeremy Rigney on the front row, and then row 2, Carter Coop, Johnny Collier. Row 3, Josh Collins, Ed Morris Sr. And last but not least, row 4, Jacob York. And this is heat race number 2. That will be the Dogtopia heat race number 2. Healthy dogs are happy dogs at Dogtopia Fredericksburg. That's a tongue twister. Fun-filled days with your pups, best furry friends forever. Dogtopia offers daycare and boarding spa treatments. Enroll your furry friends today at dogtopia.com. Got that in, and now it looks like the pace car is going to pull in, and Dogtopia heat race number 2 is underway.
That was a really, really good start there by Sebastian Taylor in the 27. There on heat race number 2. I did just bet him in the channel, in the chat for my feature race winner, so I'm hoping he gets a good finish here so he can start out front for the 100 laps.
There you see down on the bottom, it's the 52 of Carter Coop trying to get something there, but down below him, it's the 25 of Jacob York. York started dead last in this heat, and he's already working his way up to second. You saw the 84 of Rigney go high. 25 of York still trying to get clear from the 52 of Coop. Now that's a teammate, and he does. He gets clear through him. And now he's got his eyes set on the 27 of Sebastian Taylor. It's a dogfight all over. So you see, he just put the fastest lap, and he's trying to get past the
It's gonna be a
27
dog
quick.
fight for Dogtopia heat race too. That's
I was
just
like, see what he did there? It's like,
Oh, he gives him a little tap down the front stretch. There he goes, making his move down low. Had to back off quite a bit. Still has the run.
wow. That was
Side by
a
side down the
really,
back.
really good move there by Jacob York. I hate to cut you off again there, Hunter, but that was a really, really smart move, getting the run down out of turn 4 and taking it to the bottom, going into turn 1. These two are still fighting side by side, though, Hunter. Sebastian Taylor's not giving up.
No, neither is Jacob York. He's still trying to get that bottom to roll, and he's got Carter Coop right behind him. So momentum push goes to the 25. Jacob York to the lead with less than 2 to go. Sebastian Taylor trying to hold on to second as Carter Coop trying to get past that spot. We got the white flag in the air here. One more lap for Dogtopia Heat number 2. It's all Jacob York. He's clawed his way from dead last all the way to the lead. Taylor goes wide there off turn 2. Give the spot to Carter Coop for the moment. Coming off turn 4, it's going to be Jacob York winning Dogtopia Heat race number 2. Side-by-side battle to the line for second. It's going to be Carter Coop by just a hair over Sebastian Taylor, who gets third. Fourth place, Johnny Collier. Fifth place, Ed Moore Sr. Sixth is Jeremy Rigney. And seventh is Josh Collins.
Well, that was a pretty exciting finish there for Dogtopia Heat race number 2. Now we got the fireworks going off in the background for the America's Auto Auction 100 live here from Five Flags Speedway. And our starting lineup looks like this. James Shaneworth going to roll off from the first spot in the number 1 car. And starting outside of him, the 25 of Jacob York.
In row number 2, it's going to be Michael Leip in the 26, and outside of him, Carter Coop in the 52.
Row 3, that's where you're going to see Matthew Robinson roll off from, with Sebastian Taylor, my pick for the race win, rolling off from 6th.
Row 4, we'll have the 41 of Dean Gagliano starting 7th, and starting 8th is Johnny Collier in the 33.
And then rounding out our field here tonight, we got Caleb Steimer in the 36, Ed Morris Sr., Rick Ward, Jeremy Rigney, Jeremy Knapp, and then Joshua Collins starting 14th. And those are our 14 starters tonight for the America's Auto Auction 100. Just a reminder, guys, here we got a pace lap and a half until the bets close for our Twitch channel. So make sure you put exclamation point bet, the last name of the driver you think is going to win, and then a 10 after that to bet 10 channel points on who's going to win tonight.
Well, I think we just got one more person here in the booth, and I believe that is Mr. Ryan Swan. How's it going?
I'm doing all right. It's nice to see that we're snowballing here tonight with the late model series. And I just heard somebody was making bets. I don't know if y'all have made y'all's picks or not, but after heat race number 2, I'm going to lead this off with the 25 of Jacob York.
Wow, that was going to be my pick. Now we got to switch it up. I'm going to go with the most dominant driver throughout the whole playoffs. It's the one of Shane Wolf for me.
I'm going with Sebastian Taylor in the 27, and I'm putting my bet in the channel now.
And I just put in the Wendigo Studios on Twitch. We're going with Coop tonight.
Right, so it's Carter Coop for Harold. Pace car makes a hard left turn on the pit road. James Shaneworth and Jacob York lead the way here for the America's Auto Auction 100 at Five Flags. You see Shaneworth ducking down to the bottom along with Jacob York. York not wasting any time. That bottom was crucial to him winning the second heat. There you see throughout the field there some side-by-side action, but Shane Wolf leads lap number 1. Got a battle back there. That's for the 7th spot. Or that's for the 8th spot, sorry. Then we got a close battle for the 7th spot here. That's Dean Gagliano in the 41, Caleb Steimer in the 36. And behind them, side-by-side, Johnny Collier in the 33 and Jeremy Rigney. Battle is for 9th. Rigney on the inside, Collier on the outside, and right behind those two, it's the 18 of Josh Collins looking to add himself into the picture. Oh, nearly gets into the 33. He's sideways, and he almost got it into the wall. Looks like everyone's keeping it going. There you see that's the battle for 3rd. It's the 26 of Michael Leip, and right behind him is the 40 of Matthew Robinson, last week's winner, who stole a win away from Michael Leip. Well, a little bit of an issue there with Jake, looking to see if he'll work his way back in, but in the meantime, 40 of Robinson all over the bumper of Michael Leip, as behind him it's a battle for 5th between Sebastian Taylor and Carter Coop. They were side-by-side, and they still are side-by-side. Coop on the bottom, Taylor up top.
Well, yeah, I mentioned earlier, you know, how Jacob York was able to come from dead last in the heat up to the second place, the outside pole, which was exact opposite of Nap. So this heat format, allows the drivers to definitely get over a bad qualifying lap.
It definitely does, and it gave Jacob York the opportunity. Instead of starting dead last, he worked his way all the way up to first and got himself on the front row. So qualifying not totally meaning everything necessary for starting positions, as in the heats you can definitely work your way up towards front and get a better or worse starting position for yourself. Right now, looks like the 52 of Coop got up near the wall there through 1 and 2. Now he's got the 41 of Dean Gagliano underneath him. That's for the 6th position, nearly making contact coming out of the corner.
He's running that middle to high line coming around all the corners. Could be good for his tires if he can do that on the long run. But, unfortunately, the wall's out there.
Yep, and the 84 of Rainey again in this battle, too. Coop not giving it up top. However, the 41 of Gagliano has the preferred line. Coop getting really wide there. That's going to allow the 41 of Gagliano to clear. Now the battle is for the 7th spot. So move Gagliano up to 6th, battle for 7th, Ringney on the bottom. Coop up top, and right behind those two, was the 18 of Josh Collins, but even further back, the 36 of Caleb Steimer with an amazing save. Coming off turn 4. Everyone keeps it going straight. No yellows just yet. Steimer falls back to the 13th spot. And while all that was going on, as we still have the battle for, that's the 7th spot there, Michael Light moved up to 2nd, past his cousin, Jacob York. And the 84 of Jeremy Rigney now cleared the 52 of Carter Coop, as Jacob York slowly starting to fall back. He's got Matthew Robinson on his bumper now. This is 2nd and 3rd place in the points here, battling for the 3rd spot.
Yeah, you say with Lipe. Lipe seems to do real well at these tracks where tire wear is king, so I'd like to see, Lipe will probably do pretty well. He's just going to let these cars go by, probably wait until that halfway, which has been his his motives all through the last season, of waiting to the last minute to take his one set of tires.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there, Harold. It seems like the smaller the track, the better the 26 car seems to run. So, if anything, 5 Flags being a half mile like it is might play into the right into the hands of Michael Light. But another guy that's pretty good at these shorter tracks is James Shamewood in the 1, and he is showing it right now.
Yep, since the drop of the green flag, he has not looked back. So far, he's led all 16 laps. And Michael Light slowly starting to creep in as he just got past the 25 of York. Now he's got his eyes set on the leader. Number 1 is Shane Wolfus. Here we are back in the pack. You see there's the 20 of Jeremy Knapp. He wrecked in the first heat. And Ed Morris Sr. again, a little loose there. Coming off turn 2. This is the battle for 12th though, right behind them. So the 20 of Jeremy Knapp still trying to work his way up through the field. And the 36 of Caleb Steimer. And just ahead of those guys, it's Ed Morris and Johnny Collier. That's the battle for 10th. Still going on.
They're running through these laps pretty quick already. We got 18 up on the board, make it 19 as James Shanewood has just crossed the stripe. I see Michael Light's kind of slowly closing in on the number 1, and he's bringing his cousin Jacob York along with him. And then a little bit further back, you got Matthew Robinson, Sebastian Taylor, and then this big battle of cars, which is led currently by the number 14 of Ed Morris Sr. But 10th on back, man, these guys are fighting hard, and Jeremy Knapp right there in the middle of it as he's blinking out, actually. But a good pack in the back. A really good pack right here in the middle of the racing lineup right now, as well as you got Dean Gagliano, Jeremy Rigney, and the 52 of Carter Coop. Those 3 drivers are battling for 6th place, just outside the top 5.
And this track not really being much of aerodynamics, as we saw last week at the Milwaukee Mile, a bigger track as the 52 of Coop got loose there on the bottom. Not really that much of a difference with aerodynamics here, but we still see pack racing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with just how hard it is to pass here, right? The only way you're really going to get, I wouldn't even say a clean pass. The only way to really make a quick move is kind of use the bumper a little bit and send them up the racetrack, get that preferred line on the bottom and scoot right around them, and hopefully they don't get back to you. It's a little too early to see that, and I think that's why you see a lot of these guys just on top of each other, because they don't want to be the one to make that move on lap 23 of a 100-lap race.
Speaking of on top, the 84 of Jeremy Rigney running the top roof, trying to get past the 41 of Dean Gagliano. That's for the 6th spot. He's slowly trying to get that outside to work.
Making a good run at it too. I think right now we're focusing on this battle. Not really a lot going on up front. They're pretty spread out throughout the top 5. Our first battle is the one you're looking at right now on your screen between the 41 of Dean Gagliano, like Hunter mentioned, the 84 of Jeremy Rigney. Working the top side, but Dean squeezes him a little bit there.
Gagliano ran him up high. That's going to allow the 52 of Coop to get below the 84 now. See what Rigney can do here. This battle now moves back to the 7th spot. Give that to Carter Coop, and right behind him is the 18 of Josh Collins, having a solid night so far. We're 25 laps down the 100-lap main event.
Carter Coop squeezes right in front of the 41 there and completes that pass up front, though. Michael Leip here trying to hunt down the number 1 of James Shainwolf. He's slowly starting to work his way closer and closer, inch and inch by lap. He just slowly, gained that gap down to almost a half second now. It was over a second just about 15 laps ago. So Michael Leip making the move towards the front, and he's actually leaving his cousin, the 25 of Jacob York, who's not able to close the gap just as well. But then as you kind of see on the left side of your screen, the gap between our top 10, or really our top 5 drivers, you got about a second, nearly a second and a half between each one of those guys. So really, really spread out here in the top 5, except I think Michael Leip's going to get up to James Shainwolf here in about 5 more laps.
As Jacob York was on the bumper of James Shainwolf on the start, but as the run continues to go, his car just slowly faded away. And we've seen the 26 of Leip come to life at this point. He's now within, I'd say about half a second, maybe 6 car lengths back from Shainwolf, but he's definitely closed the gap quite a bit. And also we saw the 40 of Robinson on the bumper of Jacob York, so gaps are starting to become more and more spacious.
Well, there you see the latest lap times. Up front, James Shainwolf with an 18.2. Last lap, Michael Leip with an 18.14. So almost a half of a tenth quicker there, as this time around the lap time seemed to even out a little bit. But one thing we really got to start taking note of, if you look just in front of the 1 of James Shainwolf, it's the 36 of Caleb Steimer. These guys up front are already starting to close in on lap traffic, and I'm very, very curious to see how these guys are able to maneuver through that lap traffic on a short track here, like 5 flags.
Oh, was just about to say, I think we got some, is that smoke?
Look like smoke, yeah, it does look like some smoke
there.
for turn
I'm
2.
looking through, and Jeremy Rigney's fallen back to the 12th spot. Not really sure what happened there. You can only assume that maybe contact with the car got him a little up the track, and he's fallen back quite a bit. Looks like we're going to get a replay here to see what happened with the 84 of Jeremy Rigney. Oh, he got loose, and he actually hit the wall there on the inside wall there through turn 2, and there's no caution.
Yeah, he did a good job, though, of not really losing a ton of time. A lot of times in the late model series, you see those guys get loose and spin out, and it takes them forever to get going. Rigney, on the other hand, there, you saw him get sideways, hit the inside wall, but he kept his foot in it, kept going, and it didn't bring out a caution, but it really didn't cost him a ton of time either.
Oh, there you see the 36 of Caleb Steimer. He's going to let the leaders go. He's had quite a loose car all night. He's fallen back to the 14th spot, and he politely lets the top 2 go, so he does not accidentally spin out in front of them.
That would have been a game changer if he had spun out right in front of
the one of Shainwolf just got, the one of Shainwolf just got loose there coming off turn 4, and that's going to bring 26 of Michael Leip just a little bit closer.
And yeah, I think to add on there, Hunter, I think, like you said, Caleb Steimer did a great job moving out of the leader's way and being really respectful with them. But one thing the lap cars do without even meaning to do it is just being in the windshield sight of James Shainwolf right now. He was seeing a clear track for the first 30 laps of this race. All of a sudden, he's seeing the back bumpers of slower cars at the tail end of the field. And it just kind of messes up your line a little bit. It makes you a little bit more uncomfortable. You're watching out of your windshield, seeing what those guys are doing, and kind of reacting to them. And I think you see it caused Shainwolf to slow down a little bit, and all of a sudden Michael Leip is right there on his back bumper.
Yep, was just about to touch on that. The last few times Shainwolf's gone through turn 4, he's gone a higher exit rather than Michael Leip. Is there, you won't see it there, but Leip's had a lower exit through turn 4 than Shainwolf. Shainwolf's has been higher.
Out on the racetrack.
Oh, caution's out.
Looks like it's the 25 of Jacob York. He's blowing up right now in turn 2. Smoke pouring out of the 25 car. Not sure what happened there, but he is really, really tore up. Here we see a replay. The 25 coming out of turn 4.
God.
Looked like the 36 caught the wall, and the 25 trying to avoid him, hits the inside wall, slides back up, and hits the outside wall. And that is a terrible, terrible string of luck there for Jacob York, who was sitting second in points coming into this race, only 15 behind James Shanewolf. He sees the 36 there, hits the wall, tries to avoid him, nowhere to go, hits the inside wall, back up into the outside wall. And I believe that is going to end the 25's championship hopes.
He was the next closest one up. He was second in points coming into the night. And with Shanewolf leading, that really is a big blow to the 25. As I don't want to say he did that just reacting to the 36 of Steimers. He actually got upside down, but he also blinked quite a bit. And in between those blinks, his car slowly went down.
Look at all the cars we got on pit road right now.
I was going to say, yeah, we have everyone but the top, I'd say, 3?
Basically everybody came down pit road and is getting some form of service. Sebastian Taylor, it looks like, is actually going to be the first car out of pit road. And I went and watched that stop. It was 2 tires on the 27 of Sebastian Taylor, and that's going to put him up front. As we're watching a little bit delayed right now, a replay of the pit stop. But there we go. We're back to live. You see Sebastian Taylor is going to take over the race lead with a 2-tire stop.
Behind him, and then we cycle back out to Shanewolf and Robinson, and looks like Michael Light will follow behind them.
I'll say it looks like the only car that hasn't pitted is Rick Ward, as he's actually going down pit road right now.
Yeah, but Hunter, I think it's interesting. You see the top 3, I believe, right now. Top 2 took 2 tires, Sebastian Taylor and Carter Koop. The rest of the field put their set of tires on right now, so those guys are all going to be on 4 fresh tires. So not a lot of tire saving going on here.
I believe Jeremy Rigney and Jeremy Knapp might have also taken 2 tires, as their pit stops were very close.
Jeremy Rigney may have only been fuel at 10.3.
Yeah, might have been fuel. Just had the other one go. Jeremy Knapp 13 flat. It looks like it was just right sides for the 20. He was deep in the field to begin with, so maybe doing a little bit of strategy to work his way up.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a lineup mix-up right now, just because of the way the caution came out, where the leaders were and where those cars they were catching were. I think we had some guys get stuck a lap down just from an extended pit stop. That includes Ed Morris Sr. and Johnny Collier. Josh Collins has actually brought his car into the garage, so we're left with 9 cars now on the lead lap as we get set to restart.
That was the end of the night for Collins, York, and Steimer.
Collins, unrelated incident, not sure what happened there. But Sebastian Taylor leads the field off turn 4, back under green for the America's Auto Auction 100.
Taylor with a good jump again. He's done really, really well tonight on the restarts. He gets a commanding lead over the one of James Shanewolf. Shanewolf wastes absolutely no time getting up to the 2nd spot. He's going to clear Carter Koop, and he looks like he's going to bring Matthew Robinson down low with him. Up front, though, Sebastian Taylor stretching out a lead over the number 1 of James Shanewolf.
Now for 3rd here is Koop on the outside, Life on the bottom. They're still going at it as they go down to turn 3. So you see the 27 go wide through turn 4. That's going to allow the 1 to get closer and right up to the bumper of Sebastian Taylor. Taylor only took 2 tires on that stop. We have a side-by-side battle for 3rd, and we're about to have a side-by-side battle for the lead. As Taylor is stuck on the outside, the 1 of Shanewolf, not quite there yet to get a run on the bottom, but a battle for the lead definitely heating up. So there you see, about further towards the rear of the field, we got cars all over the place.
Look at their side-by-side up front, though. Shanewolf now gets the run down on him. Taylor was doing a really good job, I was going to say, there of defensive driving. He wasn't giving the line completely away to Shanewolf, but those 4 tires, those 4 fresh tires of Shanewolf eventually got to the best of Sebastian Taylor's 2 tires he took. He's able to get the position, get the run off the corner, and he is back up front in that number 1.
Maybe for a green-white checker that would have worked, but we still have half of the race left as we're about to complete lap 50 this time by. Shanewolf with the lead right now, Taylor in 2nd. Michael Light moved up to 3rd. Carter Koop's actually fallen back to 7th. The rest of the top 5 is Matthew Robinson and Jeremy Knapp. And while we are at it, we're at the halfway point of tonight's American Auto Auction 100. So let's do a midway rundown presented by America's Auto Auction of Western Michigan. So right now it's James Shanewolf. He's had the lead most of the night. Just took it back from Sebastian Taylor. as Taylor took 2 tires, Shane Wolf took 4, and he's got his eyes set on a clear racetrack once more.
And second is Sebastian Taylor. We just saw under that latest caution, he came down pit road, put 2 right side tires on his car. Pretty much a net gain for him as he's moved into second, but he wasn't able to hold off James Shane Wolf. And right now we got Michael Lipe, who's just moved into the 3rd spot in that number 26, battling with Matthew Robinson, who's had a solid race so far for both of these drivers. They haven't really left the top 5 all day long. As you see Robinson go by him down low, and he moves up into the 3rd spot. So that's going to complete our top 4 there for our mid-race rundown, as that's changing once again. We got Jeremy Knapp.
Jeremy Knapp wrecked in the first heat, had to start basically dead last. He's worked his way up to 4th after that cycle of stops, and currently trying to hunt down the 40th Matthew Robinson there in the 3rd spot. But back behind him is the number 41 of Dean Gagliano in 6th. That's basically where he's run all night. Hasn't quite pushed past the threshold of the top 5 just yet, but there's still over 45 laps left to go, and anything can happen, as we've seen throughout the season.
Jeremy Rigney running 7th. We saw him slide in the first opening run of the race there. He got loose coming through turns 1 and 2, was able to correct himself and not lose too much time. That caution kind of benefited him a little bit, got him back up inside the top 7. He's trying to take advantage of it. Back in 8th is the number 52 of Carter Koop, who was the only other driver besides Sebastian Taylor to take 2 tires under that caution. Worked out well at the beginning of the restart there, but he just wasn't able to hold on. It looks like he's still struggling with the handle of that race car as he's fallen back to the 8th spot.
Right behind him is the 34 of Rick Ward. He had the lead under that yellow, but made a late pit stop than everyone else. He's had a quiet night so far, almost out of running with the 36 of Caleb Steimer, but he's moved into the top 10, currently having a solid night. Behind him is the 14 of Ed Morris Sr. He had a top 5 last week at Milwaukee, and he's had quite a quiet night tonight. Nothing really too much to add on there. As we got a car sideways in front of him. That's the
26 of Michael Lipe.
Michael Lipe, yeah, I had to do a double take, almost a triple take on that. It looked like Lipe. I didn't want to speculate there, but Ed Morris was collected in that. And so much for a quiet night. He's caught up in our 2nd caution of the race, and looks like his day is done. As you see, there's the 26 of Michael Lipe. He just got loose there coming out of 4 and overcorrected right in front of the 14. Nowhere for Ed Morris to go. Very unfortunate set of circumstances surrounding Ed Morris.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough break. Both those drivers are blown up. Their nights are pretty much done. Self-spun coming out of turn 4, as the admins are saying right now, so that's going to be an EOL for Michael Lipe. I don't think it's going to matter. His car is smoking. He's done. Ed Morris' car is smoking as well. He's also going to be done. And Morris, like Hunter just mentioned, was coming off of a great run last week at Milwaukee. Got a top 5 with a really, really good strategy play there. Unfortunately, it looks like it's not going to happen tonight. The lap 60, bringing out our 2nd caution of the race.
And there you see on the outside, that is the 33 of Johnny Collier. He is your free pass. There you see him flying through the smoke here on the front stretch.
A lot of smoke from that wreck. 2 blown up race cars producing a lot of smoke, and Ed Morris Sr. is still running around the track. He's actually coming down pit road now, and right behind Ed Morris Sr., interesting note here, looked like the 27 might have just went by him actually, but the 27 of Sebastian Taylor is back down pit road. I believe he's probably taking those left side tires that he had left from his first pit stop. As we see him pulling into his box here, I'm sure we're going to see the left side of that car get jacked up as he's probably putting on those remaining 2 tires. Oh wow, they're actually right side tires.
Also joining him on pit road was the 84 of Jeremy Rigney, looking like he took his set of tires also.
Wow, he
That's
took no
4
tires at all.
Sebastian Taylor's just taken his only set of tires, so that first pit stop for him was fuel only.
That's a great strategy play though. Now he's going to be the one on fresh tires, and we saw how much of an advantage it was for James Shane Wolf. A lot of these other guys, I'd keep your eye out for that 27. He's going to look pretty strong here, I think, by the end of this race, especially having 20 lap fresher tires than the rest of the field. One thing I wanted to point out though with that caution, I believe the 26, who was really struggling with his race car, potential maybe he only took 2 tires on that last stop, if you can check that for me there, Hunter, because he was really loose and that car just got away from him, and that looks like something that happens when the car just gets super unbalanced from taking only right side or left side tires instead of all 4.
I would say that was pretty safe to assume there, because he went backwards on that start. just seemed to get worse and worse and worse as the laps went by.
Yep, he did the 2 tire strategy, Michael Light.
Handsome. I think this track is so small and so tough that with the 2 tires instead of 4, it really unbalances the car and makes it hard to hold on to. So regardless, we're going to get restarted here with just over 35 laps to go. James Shainwolf and Matthew Robinson now in the front row. How about row 2? Dean Gagliano and Jeremy Knapp making their way into the top 5. Pace car is in, and we are back underway here in the America's Auto Auction 100.
Shainwolf with another great jump. The 40 of Robinson right behind him. And then behind him, it's the 20 of Jeremy Knapp, who's moved all the way up to 3rd after having to start dead last from his first lap. Not first lap, but first heat crash. Behind him, it's a close battle for 4th. Carter Coupe has Sebastian Taylor all over him. Taylor went on pit road and took his only set of tires, so he's got the freshest set of tires on the track. And with ease, he moves past the 52 of Coupe and now has his eyes set on the 20 of Knapp. Smoke is still pouring. Still pouring from that wreck. But Taylor now using the top, and he just got past the 20 of Knapp. So Sebastian Taylor is the quickest car on the track, can confirm, because now he has his eyes set on the 40 of Matthew Robinson.
The smoke's coming out of the pits between the 14 and the 26.
So the smoke show continues from Ed Morris. That's happened once before earlier in the season. So you see Taylor, he's running lap times that are, well, that time, I'm looking at the wrong thing, sorry. He's running lap times that are almost a 10th quicker so far than the leader, but he's got the 40 of Robinson all over him. Switch that. The 40 of Robinson has Taylor all over him. So he's stuck on the bumper. And no longer stuck on the bumper. Yeah. He is quick. Taylor moves up to 2nd, and if you're the one of Shainwolf, do you let him by, or do you try to hold on as much as you can?
I think he's going to try to hold off a little bit, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think those 4 fresh tires, we'll get a better look now that Taylor has got nobody in front of him. But watch the lap time difference here in the next few laps between that number 1 and the number 27. That lap alone, I mean, Taylor just completed a pass and is already a 10th and a half quicker than Shainwolf. I'd imagine that's going to be a lot greater this time around as he's wasting no time getting to the bumper of the number 1 car. So I think once Taylor gets there, it's going to be pretty easy pass, and it should be a pretty smooth sailing all the way to the end of the race for him. So we'll have to see how it plays out, of course. But the 27 with a great strategy call to save that set of tires, was banking on another yellow, ended up getting it, and right now he's hunting down the number 1 of James Shainwolf for the lead.
I was about to say there's only a certain amount of laps where those tires are fresher before they even out. But he's still closing in on the 1 of Shainwolf.
I think you're bringing up a good point about the tires. They eventually will even out. I think the fact that it was almost a 20-lap difference between the 1 and the 27, as you see the 27 really gets loose there out of turn 4. I think that's going to be the difference. I think the 1 of Shainwolf was going really, really hard on those tires within those 20 laps. So the tire life left on those compared to what compared to what Sebastian Taylor's going to have left on his tires, I think it's just going to be too much of a difference to overcome.
See the 27 of Taylor still inching closer now, literally on the bumper of the 1. He got a little sideways there, trying to not hit him. Gap goes back up towards 3 car lengths, but it slowly closes back in. So you see, we got car spaced out throughout the pack.
Shainwolf is doing a lot better holding off Taylor than I thought he would. I will say that. Once Taylor's gotten to the back bumper, he's kind of stalled out a little bit. I think he's just waiting for the opportunity to rise, but he hasn't been able to really even peek a nose under the number 1 yet as they come off of turn 4 there. This time when they hit the stripe, there's going to be 24 laps to go. They tick off really, really quick here at 5 flags.
I was just about to touch on catching him is one thing, passing him is another. Quite obviously, the 27 of Taylor has caught Shainwolf, but now he's trying to look for different ways to pass him, as just riding behind him won't cut it. So he tried going on the outside there through turn 3 and 4. There's a little puff of smoke there. 27 of Taylor still trying to navigate his way past the 1 of Shainwolf. There, he got a lower exit than the 1. He's going to bring himself closer to that bumper of Shainwolf.
I think the pressure alone that he's putting on James Shainwolf is going to be the difference too. I mean, granted, the 20-lap fresher tires is already extremely playing in the favor of the 27. But just by pushing the 1 of Shane Wolf to drive even harder and racing on his back bumper like this is just causing him to use up even more of his tires, and it's just playing right into the hands of the 27 of Sebastian Taylor as he goes all the way down nearly to the apron, trying to just find a little bit of real estate to get underneath the 1. This battle for the lead is kind of funny when you think about it, Hunter, because at the beginning of the year, these two are actually our top 3 right now. We're the big 3 we had those first 5 or 6 races of the year. They were winning every single week. And then Taylor just really went through a dry spell and kind of had a lot of things not go his way. He was extremely unlucky, getting caught up in accidents. And now it looks like he might have a little bit of a resurgence here tonight in Five Flags.
Yep, here he comes down the bottom in turn 1. Taylor trying to take the lead away from Shane Wolf. He slides up the track, nearly makes contact with the 1. Shane Wolf's going to keep it for the moment, but right now the 27 of Taylor has the preferred groove. We have smoke all over the racetrack through turns 3 and 4. They're almost dead even at the line. Less than 20 to go here at Five Flags. Taylor's still underneath the 1 of Shane Wolf. He's trying to get the run up top to stay in front of that 27 that's charging on the bottom.
I'm nervous for Shane Wolf here. He's our points leader right now. Sebastian Taylor missed the race, so he's not even really in the championship equation. Shane Wolf has a lot more to lose than Taylor right now, and if the way he's driving super defensively, trying to pin down the 27, one little mistake by Sebastian Taylor can have significant impacts on James Shane Wolf's championship hopes, and these two are door-to-door off of turn 4.
I mean, they are basically dead even. What a show they're putting on here at Five Flags. It's the 27 of Taylor still inching ahead of the 1 of Shane Wolf, but he's not done quite yet. Towards the back here, there's the 20 of Jeremy Knapp, but they're still dead even up there. And right behind these
they got
two,
contact.
oh, they're both in the wall. The 27 of Taylor spins. Here comes the 40 of Robinson to take the lead as the caution comes out. Wow, we were riding on board with Jeremy Rigney, but the 40 of Robinson snuck his way through, and it was just too much for Sebastian Taylor to get past the 1. And I mean, he tried to get past him as clean as he could. They just made contact there. Shane Wolf goes in the wall. Taylor slides down the track into the inside wall. Man, oh man, that is such a disappointment for Sebastian Taylor. He was doing everything he could. He almost had it. Just that turn 4, it was just a slight little bit of contact where he moved up and got into the 1. And there you see the 40 of Robinson just following the tracks of the 84 of Jeremy Rigney. Man, oh man, this changes everything.
Dude, let me tell you guys, last week, whenever he got that victory, I said he's going to be trying to inch closer. He had one bad race. Here comes the 40 in the points.
Currently looking at our scoring, it still shows, well, never mind. Shane Wolf just went down Perros. I was about to say, it still shows James Shane Wolf as the leader.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. After both of those impacts, that's probably both of their races, or at least Shane Wolf will not probably be competitive in this one any longer.
I'd have to agree there. I think Shane Wolf is not going to be competitive. I don't think it's the end of his night. Somebody like Sebastian Taylor hit the wall nose first. He might have a lot more damage than Shane Wolf. I think Shane Wolf can still be all right in terms of competitiveness. But now that I think about it, guys, I think these drivers have one more set of tires in the pits than we had hoped for, because I've seen right sides go up multiple times for a lot of these guys. So I think we're not limited to one set of tires tonight.
Oh. There goes that out the window. There comes a one Shane Wolf
and
off
I verify unlimited tires tonight based on the info.
And there was some issues with the lobby getting set up and some errors through iRacing's part. So I think that was just an oversight on this lobby. So that's kind of explains a little bit further why I could have swore I've seen guys putting up the right side tires more than once. But with that, who just pitted on the recent caution, because I saw the 52 of Carter Coop come down pit road and put on 4 fresh tires. I don't know if anybody else in the top 5 did that. So Carter Coop right now is going to be one of the only guys with fresh tires.
And looks like the race control has issued an EOL to James Shane Wolf for the last contact.
Yeah.
Wow, that is really interesting. As that's gonna.
I agree with it. Shane Wolf jumped on the radio immediately and apologized to Sebastian Taylor. He said he was pitting him down there. He thought he had more room, so he took ownership almost immediately when the contact happened.
Well, that puts him at the back end of the field, but up front, coming to 10 to go this time by, it's Matthew Robinson in the lead with Jeremy Knapp in the front row. 10 more laps here at Five Flags. Let's see who gets it done.
Top 5 are on old tires. We got to remember to keep that in mind. Carter Coop in the 52.
Whoa, there goes Jeremy Knapp. He goes into the outside wall hard. That's going to bring out the caution once more. Oh, man. He got tapped from behind by the 33 of Collier.
And right in front of the 52 of Carter Coop, as I was watching it, there you see the contact between the 33 and the 20.
Wow.
Corrects it right in front of the 52, and the 20 goes into the wall hard there.
Man, oh, man. That was a hard hit for the 20F Jeremy Knapp.
Significant damage on that machine. I don't know if he's going to be able to be competitive anymore tonight either. Do you see right here on board with Carter Coop?
Wow.
There.
What a record points from Carter Coop in the 52. It looked like the 20 of Knapp was trying to get in line behind the 41 of Dean Gagliano, and doing so, the Collier machine was already there.
This is putting the 52 in a great position to win this race. I believe the 33 will be getting the EOL here, putting him right behind Robinson for this last restart. Potentially last restart.
Will be interesting to see if an EOL is given out. They could deem it as a racing incident. There goes the one of Shane Wolf back down pit road.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was seeing who was going to come down and take this opportunity to get tires. But Ryan, I think you're right. I think Carter Coop's going to be in the best situation here with the EOL going to the 33. That'll line the 52 up in third with significantly fresher tires in the front row.
Fault the driver for that one. If it's not set up correctly, I'd take advantage of it all day long.
And I think a lot of these guys are picking up on that. And I mean, it's just like almost any other race we see on the service or in the league. A lot of these guys have a lot more tire sets than one. And throughout Extreme, the other 3 series, they have 4 sets of tires. This series is only 1. So it's not something unfamiliar to this league or these drivers to have a bunch of sets of tires laying down there in the pits. It's just different strategies, I think. I think Robinson doesn't want to give up the top spot. I think he thinks he can hold these guys off, and his tires aren't in too bad of a shape. So I think with a green-white checkered almost here, we're going to have, I think, 3 laps to go, actually, when they get the green flag. I wouldn't count out the 40 and Matthew Robinson being able to hold these guys off either.
34 of Rick Ward. He's looking like he'll have his best finish of the season right now. He's currently running 4th on track. Really nice run to see from 34 of Rick Ward. Go ahead, Jake.
I like this strategy move right here from the 40 of Matthew Robinson. He hears that the 52's coming on fresh tires, so what's he going to do? The 40 Matthew Robinson is going to start up high and make the 52 start right behind the 41 of Dean Gagliano, and that's going to make an extra guy for him to pass, and that's going to give Robinson a little bit better of a buffer here on the restart.
This could be tough, though, because if he can't clear the 41, getting into 1, he's stuck on the outside, which, I mean, I know it works on newer tires.
Key thing here is the 40 and the 41 are teammates, so maybe that'll have something to do with the finish here as well.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Pace car makes a hard left turn on the pit road. We're coming to green with 4 to go. The 40 of Robinson smashes the throttle, and into turn 1 we go.
Good start, and just like Robinson wanted, he was able to pin the 41 right in front of the 52. So now it's Carter Coop's job to get around the 41 of Dean Gagliano. He's looking low, he's looking there as they slide up the racetrack, not able to get under him all the way.
Coop gets into the back of Gagliano. Into the wall he goes. Down the front stretch, the caution's going to come out once more. And boys, we're setting up for a green-white checkered finish.
And I think it's going to be an interesting call here. It looked like the 41 was trying his best to keep the 52 behind him. At the end of the day, that's a tough call to make if you're the admin. Do you put that on the 41? Do you put it on the 52? I'm not quite sure.
Interesting to see what the admins call here, as this could determine the winner of the race. If that pushes Carter Coop back, guess who gets moved up to 3rd? James Shane Wolf. Shane Wolf still has a shot at winning, pending a potential EOL on the 52. We have enough cautions that's going to allow Ed Morris to get back in this race.
Oh, no. I mean, we only get 1 green light checkered here tonight.
Morris is 25 down.
Yeah, 25 laps down is a lot different than maybe 1 or 2. So we got 7 guys on the lead lap. So actually, honestly, it's a pretty small field of lead lap race cars right now. You can come down pit road right now, get fresh tires, and the worst they'll restart is 7th. I think you got to consider that if you're one of those guys up front. Kind of surprising to see not more guys come in and take advantage of that. Robinson stayed out, Carter Coop stayed out, Jeremy Rigney stayed out, and like you mentioned, James Shanewolf sitting there in 4th. He's another guy where if the penalty gets handed down to the 52 and they make him start at the tail end of the field, all of a sudden Robinson is going to have to deal with the 1.
Does Rigney have anything?
Interesting.
He goes to the front row here.
Rigney, if there's no EOL, Rigney would start behind.
I can solve that for you quickly here. Just came in from the admin tower. The 52 is going to get the EOL here.
Interesting call from the admin. So that's going to put Coop at the back of the field. Rigney moves up to 2nd. 3rd is Shanewolf. 4th would be Collier, and 5th would be Rick Ward. There you see the 52 dropping to the rear. They're going to get the 1 to go this time by.
I think the 52 will still have a pretty good shot to get a good finish here. He's got a couple slow guys in front of him. Don't really know how.
Like I said, the worst he's going to finish here on the lead lap is 7th right now. So not the end of the world, but unfortunate for him that he's probably not going to have a shot at winning this event anymore. As we get the 1 to go here, it's going to be a green-white checkered, our only green-white checkered attempt of the night. You got Matthew Robinson up front on the older tires, alongside him, Jeremy Rigney. James Shanewolf somehow is rebounded back to 3rd with Johnny Collier in 4th, Rick Ward 5th.
As Jake mentioned, this is the one and only green-white checkered attempt. It'll be the 40 of Robinson leading the way with Rigney on the outside, and the 40 of Robinson just launched it. I mean, he's gone. Well,
that was a really, really good start there by Matthew Robinson. Wasted no time, got a huge lead built up. Jeremy Rigney did a pretty good job being able to clear the 1 of James Shanewolf also and driving down into 2nd. So up front now, Robinson with a pretty good advantage over the 84 and the rest of the field. White flag is out, 1 to go in the America's Auto Auction 100.
That caught everyone off guard. I mean, the 84 is closing in, but yeah, it's not going to be enough to work their way down the backstretch for a final time. And through 3 and 4, it's going to be the 40 of Matthew Robinson taking the win here at Five Flags. He wins the America's Auto Auction 100.
A really, really impressive drive. He had those older tires there at the end, but it didn't matter. He was able to play the system to the best of his advantage. He had teammates there. He knew where to restart. He knew when to restart, and he played it perfectly. Robinson goes back to victory lane for the 2nd straight week. And the points battle between the number 40 and the number 1 is just getting tighter and tighter as the races go on.
A race tonight, lots of chaotic incidents and wrecks, but the 40 of Robinson goes back to back. He won at Milwaukee, and now he wins at Five Flags. Going to be an interesting look at next week when we go to USA to wrap up the season. Oh, and he's going to hit the wall for good measure just to make sure he passes post-race inspection, and with the rear of the car too. Now time for some donuts on the front stretch.
Burning it down there is the 40 Matthew Robinson. Pretty good smoke show he's putting on for all of our virtual fans here at Five Flags, and of course all of our fans watching. We're going to jump to some interviews real quick. We'll get a word in with our top 3 finishers tonight, which is going to consist of Johnny Collier in the 33, the 80 Jeremy Rigney, and also the 40 of Matthew Robinson, our race winner. So let's go ahead and let's get it started here. We'll get the 33 of Johnny Collier up here in the booth if I could find him and see where he's hiding at. There he is down there. And we're going to get a quick word in with him. Hopefully Ryan comes up here to help me out, but we'll get Johnny Collier in here. Hey, man, it's Jacob Bell up in the booth. 3rd place finish tonight, Johnny. That was a pretty good run for you.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I was slow all night, but there at the end, just missed the right wrecks and was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I think at the end it kind of got chaotic there. You had a bunch of restarts back to back to back. Kind of talk us through your strategy of what you were banking on and what you were utilizing to make your way up into that top 3.
Oh, I just, like I said, watching Dodging Rex, I was just trying to save tires and hoping I'd have something at the end because I figured there'd be a few cautions and I was just hoping to get lucky, and that's what I think that was mostly luck. And then some good coaching with JW Racing. They let me know when to pit and help me out a little bit when I'm hitting it too hard.
Got Ryan up here in the booth with us. If you got any questions you want to ask Johnny on his third place run here tonight.
Yeah, Johnny, throughout the middle of the race, I know we had that long run and whatnot, and you guys kind of had to take advantage of the unlimited tires tonight. I don't know when the last time you pitted was, but how big of a difference was it when some of these guys would come down pit road with maybe like 10-lap old tires and whatnot? And how would that change the way you'd race? And just take me through that last portion of the race.
Actually, to be honest with you, I didn't realize we had unlimited, and I was kind of running as if I was only going to do one pit stop, and I didn't really change my strategy. I could tell, of course, racing with some guys if they were looser or not. So I knew, if they had run longer on theirs. But yeah, I just, like I said, running on luck tonight.
Well, it was a good race nonetheless and a solid finish for you. We're going to let you go here. Is there any sponsors you want to thank?
Oh, yeah, Dogtopia, and just want to thank JW Racing for taking me on this year and helping me out and letting me be part of the team.
Yes, sir, man. Well, congratulations. We're going to let you go here on a nice third place finish for Johnny Collier in the number 33. How about a nice second place finish for Jeremy Rigney here in the number 84 car? You get it done with a solid run here tonight. I think that's your best finish of the season. Kind of talk us through everything.
Well, yeah, it was a great run for me and the Johnsonville Sausage team. It was an up and down night. I really had a fast car most of the night, qualified well, and got the race going, and fought a little adversity and tried to stay out thinking about tires, but I'm the worst when it comes to pit strategy, and I tried to take 4 tires there, and I went down a lap, and everything worked out, and we had a couple cautions, and I had a little drama up front, and it's about time I get rewarded this year. I kind of feel like I've been snake bit most of the season.
Yeah, Jeremy, looks like you got your best finish of the season tonight. I know it looks like you just said you've been looking to turn your season around. Playoffs didn't really kick off the way you wanted to, but how much with one race to go after this, how much will this turn around your momentum and whatnot?
Well, I was pretty bitter up until this race, and I finally had some things work out. And for some reason, I seem to like these last 2 tracks we're running in. I think they're pretty user-friendly, I guess. The corners are not too difficult to translate, and I seem to have a setup that works. So I'm looking forward to next week.
Gotcha. All right, man. Congratulations on the second place finish tonight. We will see you next week at USA.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Solid run there for the 84 Jeremy Rigney. Another solid run up front, though, for our race winner, Matthew Robinson, getting it done in the Dogtopia number 40 machine. Matthew, that one wasn't easy, man. How'd you hold him off?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't the best car or had the best line here. Shane Wolf definitely was the class of the field. And I knew when we pitted that first time, I told him that Sebastian had it in the bag. He didn't take tires. He came out so far ahead of everyone else, and I knew he was saving his set for later. And I knew he would probably get up there, but they ended up tangling up, and I got up there and snuck it out. I don't know. I shouldn't have won it. I knew that.
Hey, well, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ron. No, you're good. Man.
I was just gonna say, right now I'm sure that the ARCA series points are a little bit tighter, and that's probably main priority after I guess a tough opening week to the playoffs. But dude, you keep on fighting and plugging away at these points every week, man. I mean, you're pointing him to death. The one car, he's had some struggles the last 2 weeks and whatnot. Take me through what you think you got to do next week to close the deal on this one.
I just, it's like the last 2 races here, just keep the car clean and keep it in one piece, and try to be there at the end. James was definitely the fastest car, but he got in a little accident there, and it hurt him. So, and I mean, I got to go out there and win again to see if I can catch them. I mean, I know I'm pretty far back. I don't know. I know I probably gained a little bit, but it's gonna be, the same thing's gonna have to happen again. So we're gonna have to go out there and win again.
And to answer your question there, I was going to mention you came into the night 19 points back. After the way tonight shook out, you got to remember that James Shane Wolf was actually given the EOL, so there's a 3-point penalty on top of his result already tonight. You finished the race with 0 incidents, so you're going to go ahead and get those bonus points. So it's going to be about a 10-point gap headed into the final race. So you're going to be within striking distance. I mean, is there a strategy that you guys are thinking ahead of time, or what's going to be your approach to USA and trying to gain 10 points, because it's not going to be easy, but it's certainly within reach?
Yes, just this week and next week is definitely going to be really busy for me. Have to come down here and sit down and with the ARCA championship and the late model championship up for grabs. Gonna have to really put in some work and try to seal the deal. It's gonna be tough, but it's definitely doable for both.
Well, congratulations, man. I know you've been on a hot streak here lately. You needed it because you went on a little bit of a dry spell there through the middle of the season, but it seems like you're back now and you're getting some things to fall your way. So congratulations on a win. Is there any special shout outs you want to give to your sponsors before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Dogtopia of Fredericksburg, Virginia, Track Racer, Exceptional Wildlife Removal, Grip Engineering, and Justin Rideout with JW Racing. All my teammates, Dean Gagliano and Johnny Collier, we all practice together right before the race and help each other out, and that helps a ton. We even in the ARCA and everything else, just teammates just make a big difference trying to find speed and people trying different things, So, but no, I couldn't do it without them, man. And I'd like to thank y'all for doing broadcasts. Y'all do a great job.
And we appreciate it. We're going to let you go here. Our race winner for tonight, Matthew Robinson in the number 40. Back to you, Hunter.
Well, just like the test race earlier in the year, Five Flags did not disappoint. Here's our race recap presented by Extreme Motorsports. Matthew Robinson took home the win. In the second straight week, we had 5 yellows for 25 laps. Quite a bit of wrecks tonight. 14 drivers in the field, and the fastest lap went to the one of Shane Wolf. But in the end, it was Matthew Robinson who found a way to maneuver himself through the wreck on the front stretch and stayed in front to take home the win. Here's your finishing results presented by America's Auto Auction of Western Michigan. Matthew Robinson with the second straight win in the playoffs, followed by Jeremy Ringney with I believe, season best second place finish, followed by Johnny Collier in third. The fourth place goes to James Shane Wolf, and the fifth place goes to Carter Coop.
You got Rick Ward, Dean Gagliano, Jeremy Knapp, Sebastian Taylor, and Ed Morris Sr. rounding out our field here tonight, or rounding out our top 10, I should say, however, in the America's Auto Auction 100. Rounding out our field through 11th through 14th, you got Michael Lipe, Josh Collins, Jacob York, and Caleb Steimer. Those drivers were all involved in an accident and weren't able to finish tonight's race. That's why they will end up 11th through 14th there. So that's our field. That's our final results for the America's Auto Auction 100 here tonight. Paying out the chat to the bets we put in pre-race. Nobody picked Matthew Robinson.
I was shocked. I was looking through to see if anyone put a bet on that 40. I almost thought about doing it, but put all my chips on York, and that went down the drain pretty quick. But lots of picks here for Sebastian Taylor. See Carter Coop as well. Caleb Steimer had a good bit. We're going to try and do this next week, too, for the season finale. The season finale and the playoffs finale will be the words are hard. The 15th and final race of this Rick's Hot Sauce Late Model Series season. The inaugural season will be the Country Road Sports Cards Championship 100.
And we're going to be back at USA under the lights. Can't wait for that one. We started with USA, which was an amazing race to kick off the year. And now we're back there for our second time and for the final race of the season to end it under the lights for the Country Road Sports Cards Championship 100. It's going to be a good race. I think we had a really, really good one tonight, though. I really, really liked the racing we saw from Five Flags, and I'm looking forward to next week already.
Indeed, next week will be the week where we will see if the one of James Shanewolf wins the championship or if it's the 40 of Matthew Robinson with a late charge. Winning the last 2 races here, see if he can make it 3 in a row. And that's going to do it tonight from Extreme Motorsports 99 on Twitch. From everyone here, to our producer Harold Darner, Jacob Bell, Ryan Swan, I'm Hunter Sleppy saying so long, and we'll see you next Sunday to crown a champion.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.